Good evening, friends. Today we are going to take a look at a weird little item. This is the My Arcade retro arcade machine that has 300 handheld video games in one tiny little fake arcade cabinet. This is not a proper unboxing. I have already opened and played around with this thing a little bit. So let's take a quick look at it. So as you can see from the box, there's a bunch of little screenshots that sort of represent what's in there, but don't tell you anything about the gameplay, obviously. The plastic on this item is pretty nice. It's got this matte black body with this sort of glossy red wraparound. It's got a clear A and B button. The A button gets stuck a little bit. That's probably just poor construction. Also, this joystick is very shaky. It responds well, but it's very shaky. It takes 3 AA batteries in the back here. Let's see. So, as you can hear from that terrible music, it's a bit annoying, that music. It's not my favorite, but luckily there's a volume setting. It's got regular on mode, and it's got this mode where the buttons light up and the little icon down here lights up. That's pretty nice. It's a nice feature. The games on this are divided into 4 categories. These 4 kind of broad and poorly defined categories: sports, shooting, puzzle, and arcade. Most of the best games are in the arcade section. I don't really know what's going on with this little guy here. He's kind of like doing this with his hand, like, I've got the power of the arcade. So half of the games on here feel like unfinished shovelware or like Java or Flash games. They're very poorly thought out. The mechanics on some of these are the same. They're not that great. But where the real fun is in here, there are some ROM hacks. Some really blatant ROM hacks. So if we look through these titles here, we got like these exciting games like Build Man, Duel, Exit the Game. Isn't that a great sounding game title? Who would want to play Fruit Eater or Farm Keeper? Iceberg. Oh, cat versus dog. Mole Whack. So you don't really get a good idea of what these are about. But if you open one, let's try this strangely named game called Exit. So I'm going to pull that in close. Watch what this little guy says. Can you see that? That little fox thing or raccoon said Minnie. It just shouted Minnie, as in Minnie Mouse. And what you see here is that we've got a ROM hack of Mickey Mousecapade for the NES. It's the exact same game, just with a paint job. Oh, got hit. Oh no. Somehow I got hit. I must suck. So, I'm looking for the double shot. Anyway, the point is, as much as I would love to sink another hour into that, these games don't have a save feature. So when you die, you are dead. You are dead for good. And I'm just going to warn you right now that when you reset this thing, the sound resets with it. So we're going to get ready. Okay. So Exit is Mickey Mousecapade. Gluttonous Dog. What kind of a name for a game is it? Maze Bomber. I wonder what Maze Bomber could be. Let's take a look at Maze Bomber. Let's see, you drop a bomb, and it extends in 4 directions. Almost like Bomberman. But unlike Bomberman, so this isn't a rip of Bomberman. This is just using a similar engine. So there's no, there don't appear to be power-ups. You just kind of do the entire screen. There's another one in here somewhere called Smart Bomber. And that's the one that's the actual Bomberman rip. Gold Finder. What could Gold Finder be? So, let's take a look. You are this little car going around in circles, revealing what appear to be gold bars. Why, I dare say this is a rip of Clue Clue Land. If you've never played Clue Clue Land, it's an arcade game that was ported to the NES where you're a little pufferfish, an adorable little pufferfish, and your whole purpose in the game is to use this sort of weird spinning around the pegs mechanic to collect coins. But they've decided for their version of this game that it'll be fine just to use this really generic, ugly car and tank ensemble. So anyway, there's Clue Clue Land, and actually at the game over screen, it says Clue Clue Land, or at the stage select screen. So that's a bit uncreative. Combat Cars. Combat Cars is a rip of the arcade and NES game City Connection. You play this car, and your entire purpose in the game is to cover as much area as possible on the map. So you've got the New York City skyline in the background. Yeah, so this is just City Connection. Combat Cars. I guess that's at least a pretty decent rip. So here's an interesting one right here. Thunderman. Thunderman is using the... Tell me, where have you seen this jump cycle? Do you recognize this jump cycle? And this punching style? Do you recognize that? Does it look familiar? How about that boomerang? Kind of looks like a batarang, doesn't it? This here is a rip of Batman for the NES by Sunsoft, but without any of the good Sunsoft soundtrack. And as said before, no save or password feature or continue, just you die and you're dead. It's using the same game engine, but it is an inferior sort of homebrew version of it. So instead of Batman, we have Thunderman. These enemies don't really resemble the enemies in the game either. You know, in Batman for the NES, you had these, I guess that Ninja sort of does. But in Batman for the NES, you had these weird little cars that would sort of, they had like spiky tops on them. I don't know. So yeah, Thunderman. I don't know what half these are. There's another one in here. Rescue the Girl. Anyone who has played the original Popeye game, I think it's an arcade game and, as always, an NES game. So this guy with a hat, he's supposed to be Popeye. That's supposed to be Olive Oil up there, and that's supposed to be Bluto. But they're just kind of these ugly little ripped versions of them. So we've got Popeye, we've got Clue Clue Land, we've got City Connection, we've got Bomberman, but the best of all, the absolute best of all, we saved for last, and here it comes. Dual Hoopers. What is a hooper? Why is this duck so upset? Who is this weird little monkey in the background? Why does he look all confused? What the hell is this thing? What is a hooper? Dual Hoopers, red, green. And he's just got this kind of dumbfounded look on his face. What is this guy? Well, I'm glad you asked. As you can see, his name is Chip. Sounds familiar. Oh, this sounds like a job for the Rescue Rangers. So this is the best one because they were so lazy with their ROM hack that they didn't even bother to change the opening cutscene. All of the copyrighted characters' names are there. You got Chip, Dale, Monterey Jack, Gadget, Zipper the Fly. They're all named incorrectly. They traded out their character sprites for the Hoopers. They've got this weird looking policeman cat and this generic yellow dog. But all the character copyrighted names are still in there, so this thing is just ripping Disney off. And yeah, this is an exact rip of Rescue Rangers for the NES. It's an uglier version of it, of course, but when you die, you are dead for good. So it would be better just to buy a copy of the game, or to maybe if you're a less scrupulous person, get a ROM of it. I mean, a ROM of it. But yeah, Chip and Dale, absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry, not Chip and Dale. Dual Hoopers. So yeah, the shooting section is a weird mix of arcade-style shooters and shmups. You got like a submarine game. Popo. So Popo is an interesting one. Popo is a rip of Buster Brothers. I'm not sure why. This is in the shooting section. You don't shoot. You just throw a little harpoon at the balloons. At the Popo, sorry. This is actually an arcade game that I really liked when it was, in the arcades back when I was a kid. Tiger Man, I don't know what that is. Bomb Release, Earth Defender, Trek. I don't know what an air socket is. Somewhere on here they have their version of Mag Max, which they have just named Mag Max. Let's see. Can we find it? It's on here somewhere. There it is, right there. See that? They just call it Mag Max. Mag Max is a game. It's a side-scrolling shooter where you have this robot that you build in parts. And you can see they've changed all the graphics, but they just figured Mag Max would be a good enough title for their stolen game. So this isn't the worst system ever. It's decent for $30, but honestly, you'd be better off buying pretty much anything else. All the sound effects are this really horrible kind of generic sort of sound effect. The music is recycled. I don't know. There's no love in this piece. It's just I've seen a video of the guts of this thing, and it's just hideous on the inside. It's poorly constructed. It's cheap. It's garbage. The screen is fantastic. The screen is amazing. Like, I can't believe what a high quality little LCD screen this is. But overall, yeah, I don't know. It just makes me want to play these games on the original hardware. What do we got? We got another part. Oh, there's the leg. There's the leg. Look at that goofy leg. It's ridiculous. Oh, I'm getting it. Anyway. So yeah, there it is. The My Arcade Retro Arcade Machine 300 games. Thanks for watching, everybody.